Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you might be. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine, and this is the Black Link Experience. And I'm so excited to have Jules with us today. She's going to tell us all about Jules and what she does. Jules, welcome to Black Link Magazine.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. Go ahead and tell the world who you are and what you do.
So, my name is Jules. My artist name is Jules Marie. I am a vocalist and songwriter and performer. I'm from right outside the Philadelphia area, and I travel all around doing shows. And I have some music that I've released on Spotify and iTunes and all that jazz. And yeah, I'm just excited to be doing the thing. I've been really doing it, especially this past year. I've had so many shows and I'm putting out new music constantly, and it's been really a fun experience to kind of watch myself grow. It's been awesome.
That's exciting. Tell me, what was it like when you were younger? When did you know that you were going to get into this music business? And I mean, you were going to go all the way with it.
I really didn't know that I had it really in me until the past year. It was obviously always a dream of mine. I mean, I was singing pretty much since birth. I was like the kid who was always singing, but to really make it a career and make it something that I was going to go all the way with, I didn't really realize that I had it in me until, like I said, this past year when I started really taking a look at the actual business end of it, that it's actually, a lot harder than just putting out music and just being a musician. That's like one part of it, but then there's a whole other side that comes in when you're really starting to make it a career. So it's
Yeah.
been definitely interesting.
So tell me, what you said is kind of hard, and it is. It's business. It's a business. It's just a little bit of show and a bunch of business. So what was the hardest thing you think? What is the hardest thing that you have to face? As for you, what is your experience?
Honestly, money wise, it's been tough for me realizing that this is one of the most expensive industries to be in. Just, I mean, as far as even can not control and then to like record music and to do shows and all of that stuff, it all costs money to make that happen. And then on the back end, to promote yourself, that all costs money. And so there's always something, coming around the corner, it feels like, where you got to invest in yourself, or you have to, be paying for this in order for this to happen. So that's been a huge thing for me, is just, I've never had, money like that. So to find ways that I can either do things without spending money, or find creative ways I can do things on my own without having to pay somebody to do it. I do all my own album covers. I do all my own flyers. I do all the stuff that on the marketing end that somebody would normally pay for. I try and do as much of it on my own as I can.
Yeah, and I think that's important. We have to, it's just a reality. Whatever business you're in, whatever you're trying to grow, entertainment doesn't matter. You have to invest in yourself. And a lot of us, we just don't have it. But I like the fact that you get creative and like, okay, what can I do that's free that I can do on my own? And then not necessarily have to spend money, but what is necessary to spend the money on, I have to do that. So yeah, I like that. And that means that shows dedication. Like, I'm dedicated to this thing. Just because I don't have no money, I'm not gonna give up. But I'll
Yeah.
make it work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
same thing as like a small business. Like if they have, when you have your small business, you put your whole heart into it, and you might not have a lot of money starting up, but if it's something you love and you're passionate about, you're like, we're making this happen, whether we have it or not, we're doing it.
That's right. That's right. So tell me about some of your experiences. What's your most memorable experience getting into this business? Whether it was performing, whether it's a song that you wrote that stuck to you, what's your most memorable that you will carry with you?
Honestly, there was a moment after my very first performance. I was performing with a cover band, and someone came up to me, and it was my very first like real performance, like a real show with a real band and everything. And they came up to me and they asked for an encore, and that I felt like a complete rock star at that moment. I was like, wait a second, like that happens in real concerts. Like they just asked me for an encore. And I remember how cool that was to feel like, because as you're performing, you feel the audience and you feel how they're maybe receiving what you're doing, but it's a whole other thing for someone to ask for that same thing again. Like that's like a whole reassurance that, wow, like not only did they enjoy it, but they wanted more, like they wanted to hear it again. Like
That
Yeah.
makes you feel good because you work so hard and you're like, are they really paying attention to me? Is this really worth it? Do you ever have moments where you're like, I'm just not good enough? Like, do you have those days?
All the time. And that's been, since I was younger, that's been a thing. And that was why, you know, to make it a career seemed so, not realistic to me, because I had all this self-doubt, and I still do, with a lot of different things. But the more I grow, the more I start to impress myself. And then I'm like, okay, well, if you could do that, like, let's go. What's the next?
Right. I think we all have a moment where we're like, just forget it. Like nobody's supporting me. I don't have the money. We could complain all day long about.
Mm-hmm.
We can either complain or we can either just suck it up and go. Well, what are we
Mm-hmm.
gonna do, right? So tell me, in those moments that you have when you're feeling like that, how do you combat that? What do you do to get past it and just keep pushing?
It's really a huge focus thing for me. I have to shift my focus. I have to start to, not block out those feelings, because it's good to have those feelings. It pushes you farther. If you feel that way about something, that means that you love it. It means that it is important to you. So, when you start to feel like that, to just shift my focus and, try and focus on, well, what is the positives? Like, what have I done so far? Like, where have I come? How far have I come? Like, when I look back even months ago to now, I see growth. So, like, to look back a year from right now, and to think about what might happen in a year from right now, like, the possibilities are endless. And I always end up shocking myself with, like, wow, like, I knew I loved this and I knew I was passionate about it, but I didn't really know I could be, that passionate, or I could be that hardworking, or, not let this get me down and really keep going. And like you said, to just, like, let it fuel you, like, let it just make everything better. Like, you can take all those negative feelings and be like, okay, well, there's a reason for that. I feel that way because I love it you
Yeah,
know
yeah. Tell me, what do you have going on today? Like, what's going on currently with Jules?
so I literally have my planner right here. I keep, like, looking over it. So I have 3 shows in the next 3 days. And one of them is my hometown show, where I haven't gotten to play a show back close to home really recently. I've been all over the place. I was in upstate New York. I was in Jersey. I've been in Maryland. I've been all over the place.
Right.
And so I'm coming home now, and people have been asking me, like, when can we see you, like, locally? Like, when can we see you? And so that's tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
yay.
I'm excited. Oh wait, no, today is Tuesday. Okay, never mind. We got one more day. So that is Thursday, but then it's a Thursday, Friday, and then 2 on Saturday situation.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm trying to get as much rest in between as I can, but I'm
Yeah.
also, like I said, doing so many other things with music and, promotion and all of it, that I really have to find time to, like, schedule in somehow some decompression for myself,
Yeah.
like, to just take a moment and, like, do what I was saying, like, really reflect on how far I've come, but also organize my thoughts so that I can go forward.
Yeah, you have to do that. If you don't get rest and you start, I mean, it starts to fall apart. So you
Mhm.
have to make sure you're finding time for yourself because you can mentally break down, So you have to really find time for yourself. So I like that so we're gonna hurry and get off this interview so you can get rest.
So I can go nap.
Yes, yes. So what do you tell people coming into this business? I mean, you feel the struggles. You know what it's like. It's not people on the other side of it just see the glitz and the glamours when it's the finished deal, right? It's
Mhm.
complete. They don't see what you've gone through to get there. What
Mhm.
is your advice to them?
Yeah, I always tell people, they always think that it's so easy, and I get all these questions as, like, you know, everybody's first question is, how much money do you make? And if that's the driving force with it, that's the biggest thing I tell people, is that if that's your reason for doing it, whether it's music or honestly anything that you're passionate about, if your reason for doing it becomes money, you're never going to be happy. Because there's honestly, especially starting out, there is not a lot of money in it. I make my most of my money off of my shows, but before I had shows,
Yeah.
it was me spending hundreds of dollars on recording music and making music videos and all of that to get a couple cents in return from the streaming sites and all that stuff. That's not what it should be about. And so, yeah, I always tell people that it's so hard. And is as rewarding as it is when it works, it is hard, and it is never going to be just handed to you. You have to work for it. You know, even the people who get it handed to them still have to work, and
That's
it's
right.
yeah, it's a constant
Yeah.
growing and changing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. They touring is where you make the most money, but you got to create the song, you have to have studio time, you have to have a producer, you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to promote, you have to, it's so much more than just making a song, going on tour you know
Yeah, magically
that's
you
what
have
I
to work.
think they miss, and you get frustrated and then you end up quitting or giving up on your dreams. I have a magazine, a billion people do a magazine. Do I make money off my magazine? No, I spend money trying to
Because you
create
love
something.
it. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Music is an outlet for any emotion that you're having. Like if you're having a bad day, you can go write. I do that with poetry. I do that, write my poems, whatever, right? You can go
Oh,
write, you can get away. Or if you're feeling good, you want to vibe, you can do that, right?
write the dance song. Yeah.
Tell me about your writing process.
Normally, so writing for me, it can't be forced. And so when
Mhm.
I find myself, yeah, like I find myself trying to write, it doesn't come out the same way as when I have like a call to write. Like there was something that was either bothering me, or I was, driving around and I was inspired just by the whole drive. Like I can't really sit there. I can, but it doesn't come out in the same way. I can't sit there with the goal of like, all right, we're going to write a song right now and it's going to be about this. And, a lot of people, I actually kind of envy some other songwriters that I know that can just make a song out of nothing. Because for me, it has to be such a personal, like
Mhm.
driving force behind it. Like there has to be a reason,
Mhm.
or else it just doesn't come out genuine. It's not where, my heart is. So.
Yeah. Well, Jules, thank you so much for being with us and sharing a piece of you with us today. We're excited to have this interview and get it loaded and for people to see and to know who you are. Especially I thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your struggles, because what happens is this helps people. And that's what we're all about, is helping people. Let's be honest about what we have to do to get where we want to be. And it's not a bed of roses every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so thank you for being vulnerable and sharing. People need to hear the truth,
And
and that.
thank you for putting all this love into your magazine. Because if you
Oh,
wouldn't have, we wouldn't be here right now.
yeah, thank you so much. I just love it, and I love to talk to people, and I love to help people. So that's what we do over here. That's just who we are. And so again, thank you for being here. Continue being who you are, being honest and being your genuine self. And I think that helps you to grow, just being who you are. And you're so beautiful. And so just we
So are
will.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. We just wish you the best. We will be following you. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you on all social media sites.
Jules Marie Music on everything. And then YouTube, Jules Marie Music also. The only place it's anything different is on Twitter, but I'm not on there very much. It's
Yeah.
capital THE, the Jules Marie. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's Jules Marie Music everywhere. And my music's on all streaming sites. And I have new stuff
Go
coming out.
follow Jules and let's support one another and boost one another up and help out build our networks. And so her music will be on all streaming platforms, new music in October. Let's follow her. That's right, Jules. Thank you again for being here. You guys, we're going to get out of here for now. In the meantime, respect yourself, respect each other. God bless.